Don't say you haven't been warned about Sarah Palin. Don't say you haven't been warned. You know, I cut my teeth exposing Bill Clinton as a traitor to this country and going after our Second Amendment and our national sovereignty. And George Bush tripled the size of government, passed the Patriot Act, Homeland Security. Yes, Obama reissued it. But the point is, that was bipartisan. It gives Obama left cover. He's expanding wars, biggest defense budgets ever, continuing torture, secret arrest, and the phony right wing comes out and attacks him as a peacenik. Barack Obama is a corporate whore. Barack Obama works for the big banks. Barack Obama is there to bring a form of fake neoliberalism into the United States and worldwide to continue the empire's corruption. And it's the same thing for Sarah Palin, vetted by Henry Kissinger. Anybody chosen to be the running mate of John McCain is a nightmare. If there was any doubt about the true colors of Sarah Palin, it is now 100% clear that she is a fraud and a warmonger and a neocon that will rape you even worse than George W. Bush did. It's simple. 9/11 has been used to target the American people and set up a police state. Do you understand that? We have the secret MIAC and Homeland Security reports that were leaked to us by law enforcement a year ago. People couldn't believe their contents for 4 or 5 days until the government admitted they were real. The main focus of Homeland Security and domestic military operations under NORTHCOM is suppressing the states and the governors and we the people. The whole thing is targeted at returning veterans, gun owners, Christians, conservatives, libertarians. That's in the documents. All 50 states issued these via the federal government. But what is Sarah Palin doing? She's saying we need to expand the Patriot Act. She says we don't need a constitutional lawyer, we need a president. Really, America is the Bill of Rights and Constitution. What's her problem with Obama? He's continued secret arrest. He's continued torture. He's expanded the wars. He's brought us the 2 biggest defense budgets in history. He supported the banker bailout that you supported, Palin, along with Glenn Beck and George W. Bush. What's the problem with Obama? The truth is, it's a staged WWF wrestling event, and the American people know this. It was 3 years ago, at the start of the Republican campaign for the primaries, that true Tea Parties were formed against both political parties for Ron Paul to truly call for our republic to be restored. And now look at us 3 years later. In 2009, in January, at Tea Parties in Texas, Governor Rick Perry, who supports the North American Union, seizing 8,000 miles of Texas roads, turning them into toll roads, who supports making girls take Gardasil shots when it's not even the law, it was killing a bunch of people. Rick Perry, a Bilderberg Group attendee, calling for world government. That's in the Dallas Morning News. Rick Perry was being booed everywhere at Tea Parties. So was Senator Cornyn. Other neocon Republicans were being booed. But the Republican Party came in and took over the Tea Parties. And now they've officially done it with Sarah Palin and Glenn Beck. It's run by the RNC. That's who chartered Tea Party Nation. That's who funds these events. And then Sarah Palin gets up in front of the Tea Parties and says, we need to have war with Iran right now. That's the only thing that'll save Obama's administration.
How hard do you think President Obama will be to defeat in 2012?
It depends on a few things. Say he played, and I got this from Buchanan reading one of his columns the other day, say he played the war card. Say he decided to declare war on Iran or decided to really come out and do whatever he could to support Israel, which I would like him to do. But that changes the dynamics.
You're not suggesting that he would cynically play the war card.
I'm not suggesting that. I'm saying if he did, things would dramatically change if he decided to toughen up and do all that he can to secure our nation and our allies.
The neocons last week wrote 3 editorials calling for this to happen. She supports the Patriot Act. She supports secret arrest. She supports torture. And all of this is designed for the American people. It's a bait and switch, ladies and gentlemen. We have the internal documents. And then, in Texas, on Super Bowl Sunday in Houston, she gets up and endorses Rick Perry, and she says he's going to send a message to Washington.
I can't tell you, though, how proud I am to get to support Governor Rick Perry. Who better to lead than the successes that we already see here in Texas I look forward to Texas sending Washington a message on how things can be done right, because you're doing them right in Texas.
Rick Perry is a total whore of Washington. He supported the banker bailout, just like Palin and Beck did, just like Bush did. Because as many congressmen have said, the foreign banks run this country. That's the issue, getting past the puppets of Obama and Palin to the real elite. Meanwhile, Deborah Medina, who says that she will secure our borders, give us open carry, Vermont-style, true Second Amendment, she has said that she will get rid of all these illegal, unlawful toll roads. The state of Texas, the legislature already said they were illegal. Perry doesn't care. He's going ahead with it. Won't even let the legislature see the contract for this NAFTA superhighway system. She said she will completely get rid of the unconstitutional property tax that makes you a serf who pays rent on your own supposed home. Not Rick Perry. Rick Perry is New World Order, and a year ago he started talking like the Tea Parties because he understood that that was the future. This is the real rebellion against the globalists, against the Copenhagen tax, against the takeover. But Rick Perry's saying nothing about Austin announcing $2.6 billion in taxes in the next 3 years of carbon taxes. So she's calling for war with Iran and saying that Obama can get his approval ratings up by launching an attack on Iran that could start World War III. That's a direct neocon talking point. She was vetted by Kissinger. She was chosen by John McCain as her running mate, the anti-gun, attacker of free speech with McCain-Feingold, the guy that supported the bailout. What else do you need to know? And she gets up and pushes the mainline Republican garbage that's killing the Republican Party, and a bunch of lapdogs with her phony tripe that this tart puts out start buying into it. You're just like idiot Obama supporters who really thought he was going to end the war and end torture and end the banker bailouts when he's completely run by it. Wake up, stop being conned. We don't have time to screw around. We don't have time to be bamboozled again. We don't have time to be idiots. But here's the good news. It took people 6 years to wake up to the fact in the polls that Bush was a fraud. It took people less than a year with Obama. And so they can go ahead and stick Miss World War III Sarah Palin in. It'll take a few months to wake up to her. This bait and switch isn't working anymore. The American people are becoming constitutionalist, populist. They're discovering who the real enemy is, the global New World Order that tried in Copenhagen a few months ago to set up a world tax paid to private banks. We need to indict Geithner. We need to arrest the bankers. It's really over $25 trillion they've stolen. We need to go after the New World Order and identify the real enemy of our sovereignty. Mark my words, Sarah Palin is total New World Order garbage. If she would have endorsed Deborah Medina, who's surging in the polls, we could start a real peaceful revolution at the state level. But instead, like the cavalry, as his polls drop and Deborah Medina's polls go up, she came into Texas to tell the people, oh, rebel against tyranny. Support Glenn Beck. Support Governor Perry.
I don't know if any of you caught recently, just a couple of days ago, the Glenn Beck show. Holy moly. This segment was on the different states and how everybody's doing. And according to Glenn Beck and all these researchers, geez, you guys are just walking on water. The way things are going in Texas. You got to catch his episode on that, because he recognized, so many people are recognizing that Texas is open for business. And companies and people, they're moving here. They keep moving here because they know that Governor Perry gets it.
Give me a break, ladies and gentlemen. It's the neocons that are running the Obama administration. They're the neocons who run Fox News. We've got the Fox Nation, we've got the Tea Party Nation. They're trying to take control of the real opposition to the New World Order and control it and destroy it. If you want smaller government, if you want to return to liberty and freedom, you better realize we're being looted by offshore corporations and not be suckered by Miss Alaska Sarah Palin. This woman is openly calling for a declaration of war against Iran. This woman is a fraud and a danger to humanity. Here's the most important point. I don't want Barack Obama in office in 3 years. I'd like to elect a true constitutionalist like Ron Paul or somebody else. But she's being positioned so that she can be destroyed and that so she can be torn down, so Barack Obama will be your next president again in 2012. You mark my words. Wake up and stop being suckered This video needs to go viral to all the idiot neocons and all the idiot Obama supporters so this fraud can be exposed. I'm Alex Jones from Infowars.com.